My child, stay right here. Please do not scroll away. Do not let the noise of the world pull your attention away for just these next 2 minutes. I know you are in a hurry. I know your mind is racing with 1,000 different thoughts, worries, and plans for the day. But this moment, this exact second, was not a coincidence. I have orchestrated this pause in your life because I have something urgent, something deeply important to tell you. I need you to hear my voice clearly. Your waiting is over. I know how exhausted you are. I see the heavy sigh you let out before you even get out of bed in the morning. I feel the weight you carry on your shoulders, a burden you try so hard to hide from everyone else around you. You have been waiting for a very long time. You have been praying, crying, and hoping for a breakthrough that felt like it was never going to arrive. You have watched others receive their blessings, their open doors and their miracles, and in the quiet of the night, you have whispered to the ceiling, "Lord, what about me? Have you forgotten me?" Hear me clearly right now. I have never forgotten you. Not for a single second. Every tear you cried in secret, every prayer you mumbled when you had no strength left to speak aloud, every moment you felt completely invisible to the world. I was there. I was holding you. You thought your waiting season was a punishment. You thought my silence meant abandonment, but my silence was never absence. The delay was not a denial. It was preparation. It was a divine shield protecting you from things you could not see and refining your spirit to handle the immense blessing that is about to pour into your life. You have felt like you were walking through a desert, wandering without a map, unsure if you would ever reach the destination I promised you. You have battled emotional numbness, spiritual fatigue, and a deep-seated fear that perhaps you did something wrong to deserve this prolonged season of lack. You convinced yourself that you were not good enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough for the miracle you asked for. But my beloved child, you did nothing wrong. The waiting was necessary to build your character, to test your faith, and to anchor your soul so deeply in me that no storm could ever uproot you. I need you to give me your full attention right now, because the enemy wants you distracted. He wants you to close this message and return to your anxiety, to your overthinking, to your feelings of defeat. Do not let him win this moment. Breathe in my peace. Let your soul be still. I am reaching out to you today to declare that the shift you have been desperately crying out for is finally here. Listen to me, my child. I know the exact toll this waiting season has taken on your physical and emotional body. You have spent countless nights staring into the darkness, letting the heavy silence of your room amplify the fears in your mind. You have asked yourself repeatedly, why is everyone else moving forward while I am stuck in the same place? You have watched the seasons change, watched the years roll by, and felt a quiet, gnawing panic that your time has passed, that perhaps you missed your opportunity, or worse, that I simply chose to bless others and skip over you. I see how that lie has slowly poisoned your hope. The enemy has whispered in your ear that you are forgotten, that your prayers hit the ceiling and bounce back down, that your tears are pointless. But I am telling you today, those were lies designed to make you surrender just moments before your victory. I have seen every single time you had to force a smile in public while your heart was actively breaking inside your chest. I watched you congratulate others on their blessings, offering them genuine love, while quietly battling the sting of your own unmet desires. That level of grace, that level of endurance, it did not go unnoticed in heaven. You thought you were just surviving, just barely keeping your head above water, but I saw a warrior standing firm in the middle of a storm. You have carried a weight that was never meant for your shoulders alone. You have tried to figure out every detail, tried to piece together the broken fragments of your life, trying to make sense of the delays. You have exhausted your own strength, trying to be the author of a story that I have already written perfectly for you. You have been mentally drained, emotionally depleted, and spiritually starved, running on fumes because you refused to completely give up. Even when giving up felt like the easiest option, let it go. Right now, in this very moment, take a deep breath and release that heavy burden. You do not have to hold it all together anymore. I am stepping in. The period of isolation, the days of feeling invisible, the nights of crying until you had no tears left, they are coming to an abrupt and glorious end. The soil of your life has been tilled, turned over in the dark, watered by your sorrow, and now it is ready for the harvest. You are standing on the very edge of your promised breakthrough, and I am about to open a door that no man, no demon, and no circumstance can ever shut. I want to speak to you about the silence. I know there were moments when you cried out to me, your voice cracking with desperation, and all you heard in return was the deafening echo of your own pain. In those moments of quiet, the enemy moved in. He used my silence as a weapon against your fragile mind. He whispered cruel lies, telling you that I had turned my back on you, that your prayers were not hitting heaven, and that you were simply not important enough to be rescued. He wanted you to believe that the delay was a sign of my disapproval, but I need you to listen to the truth of your Creator right now. The silence was never absence. The silence was a sacred space of intense, unseen protection and deep spiritual refinement. What you perceived as rejection was actually my hand shielding you from premature blessings that would have ultimately crushed you. You wanted the door to open immediately, but I loved you too much to give you the answer before your foundation was strong enough to sustain it. The waiting season was never about punishment. It was about positioning. While you were weeping, thinking nothing was happening, I was actively moving people out of your way who did not belong in your next chapter. I was silently dismantling hidden traps that had been carefully set for your downfall. You felt stuck, but I was hiding you in the shadow of my wings until the storm passed. You could not see the massive spiritual battles being fought and won on your behalf, so you assumed you had been left behind. My child, do not let the enemy convince you for one more second that your current struggle is your permanent reality. Do not accept the lie that you will always be in this waiting room. The heavy, suffocating chains of stagnation that have wrapped around your life are snapping right now in the spiritual realm. The season of preparation is officially complete. You have endured the fire and you have not been consumed. You have walked through the deep waters and you have not drowned. You kept your faith even when it was just a tiny flickering ember. Because you trusted me in the dark, I am about to reward you in the light. Your breakthrough is no longer a distant promise. It is an imminent reality. Keep your heart open, for the shift is happening even as you read these words. My child, I need to expose the lies that have been tormenting your mind. For so long, the enemy has tried to build a fortress of fear inside your thoughts. He has fed you a constant diet of anxiety, whispering that you are running out of time, that you have ruined your chances, and that your past mistakes have permanently disqualified you from my grace. I see how those lies have wrapped around your heart like heavy chains, making it hard for you to even breathe some days. You have believed the whisper that you are not enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not faithful enough. But hear my voice breaking through that darkness right now. Every single one of those whispers is a lie from the pit of hell. The enemy attacks you so fiercely, not because you are weak, but because he is absolutely terrified of who you are becoming. He sees the massive breakthrough hanging over your life, and his only weapon is distraction. He cannot stop my hand, so he tries to steal your focus. He wants you so consumed by your current struggle that you cannot see the miracle unfolding right in front of you. I am asking you today to evict those lies from your mind. Do not give them a home in your spirit anymore. When the anxiety rises in your chest, when the overthinking keeps you awake at 3 a.m., I want you to remember who you belong to. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a child of the Most High God. Before you were even formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I called you by name. I set you apart for a purpose that no human failure and no demonic attack can ever cancel. Your identity is not wrapped up in your bank account, your relationship status, your career, or the opinions of people who do not fully know your heart. Your identity is securely hidden in me. You are my beloved. You are chosen. You are fiercely protected. The battles you have been fighting in your mind have exhausted you, but I am stepping in as your ultimate defender. I am silencing the voice of the accuser. I am washing away the shame and the guilt that you have been carrying for far too long. The mistakes you made in your seasons of pain, I have already forgiven them. I have washed them clean. You have been walking around carrying the heavy baggage of yesterday, but I am telling you to drop it right now. You cannot step into this new season carrying the heavy burdens of the past. Let me heal the deep wounds that no one else sees. Let my perfect love cast out all of your paralyzing fear. You are safe with me. You have always been safe with me, and I am about to show you exactly how much you are loved. My child, because you have stood firm against the lies of the enemy, and because you have held on to your faith, even when your hands were shaking, I am now declaring a season of profound and miraculous breakthrough over your life. The heavy dark clouds that have been lingering over your mind and your circumstances are finally beginning to clear. Do you feel the shift in the atmosphere? It is not your imagination. It is the tangible presence of my spirit moving on your behalf, clearing the path and setting up the divine appointments that will suddenly change everything. What you have been waiting for is no longer in the distant future. It is arriving right now. I am opening doors for you that have been tightly sealed for years, doors that no man, no system, and no circumstance can ever shut again. I am about to restore everything that the enemy thought he had stolen from you. The years that you felt were wasted, the opportunities you thought were lost forever, the relationships that broke your heart. I am bringing a divine restoration that will make the latter part of your life unimaginably greater than the former. What was delayed was never denied. It was being multiplied. You asked for a simple blessing, just enough to get by, just enough to stop the pain. But I am preparing to pour out a measure of favor that will overflow into every single area of your life. The struggles that have kept you awake at night will be resolved with sudden provision. The physical and emotional exhaustion that has drained your body will be replaced by a fresh, supernatural strength. You are stepping into a season of acceleration. Things that normally may take years to accomplish will happen in a matter of days or weeks. People will look at your life and wonder how everything turned around so quickly. And you will know without a doubt that it was my hand moving upon you. Do not shrink back in fear when the blessings start to pour in. Do not let doubt tell you that you do not deserve this joy. You have mourned long enough. You have wept in the shadows long enough. Now is your time to step into the light and receive the harvest of your tears. This is your moment of elevation. Breathe deeply, open your hands, and prepare your heart to receive the abundance I have prepared specifically for you. My child, as you step into this new season of abundance, there is something crucial I must ask of you. You cannot enter this promised land carrying the heavy baggage of your past. I need you to release the bitterness and resentment that have taken root in your heart. I know exactly how deeply you were hurt. I saw the betrayal, the broken promises, the letdowns, and the moments when people who should have protected you walked away instead. You have held on to that pain like a heavy shield, thinking it would protect you from ever being hurt again. But that resentment is not a shield, it is a heavy anchor, and it is holding you back from the incredible heights I am preparing to take you to. Today, I am gently asking you to forgive them, not because what they did was right, and not because they deserve your forgiveness, but because your beautiful spirit deserves to be completely free. Forgiveness is the master key that will unlock the final door to your breakthrough. When you finally let go of the anger, you create a wide open space in your heart for my divine peace to dwell. Do not look back at the chapters I have already permanently closed. As you step forward, the enemy will try to tempt you with familiar pain. He will try to bring toxic situations and toxic people back into your life, just as you are about to receive your ultimate blessing, hoping to distract you and drag you back into those old cycles of dysfunction. You must be vigilant, protect your peace fiercely. Do not answer the calls of your past when your glorious future is standing right in front of you. I am giving you a brand new level of spiritual discernment for this specific season. You will begin to see situations and people exactly as they are, not as you desperately hoped they would be. Trust the quiet, gentle nudges I place deep within your spirit. If a relationship, an environment, or a sudden opportunity brings confusion and anxiety instead of peace, I need you to bravely walk away. My true blessings do not come wrapped in chaos. They come with a profound, undeniable peace that transcends all human understanding. I'm calling you right now to elevate your mindset, to align your daily thoughts with my eternal promises, and to start speaking life over your circumstances. Your words carry immense power, my child. Stop speaking defeat over your life and start declaring the magnificent victory that I have already secured for you. My child, as these new doors begin to swing open before you, I need you to completely surrender your desperate need to control every single detail. For so long, your primary survival mechanism has been to plan, to overanalyze, and to try to figure out every possible outcome before taking a single step. You have relied heavily on your own human logic and your own fragile strength because, in the past, when you trusted others, you were left disappointed and broken. But I need you to understand that I am not like the people who have failed you. I am asking you to step into this extraordinary new season with a radical, unwavering, childlike faith. You are about to encounter blessings, connections, and opportunities that will completely defy normal human logic. If you try to analyze my divine gifts through the dirty lens of your past trauma, you will miss the magnificent beauty of what I am actively doing in your life right now. I am doing a new thing, and it will not look like anything you have ever experienced before. The enemy knows he can no longer keep the doors of your breakthrough closed, so his entirely new strategy will be to make you doubt the blessing itself. He will whisper quietly in your ear that it is simply too good to be true, that it is a hidden trap, or that you will eventually lose it all anyway. He will try to trigger your deeply rooted fears of abandonment and failure, just to keep you paralyzed in a state of hesitation. When those dark thoughts invade your mind, I need you to anchor yourself fiercely in my word and my eternal promises. Do not let a spirit of fear dictate your glorious future. I did not bring you this far, through all the devastating fires and the overwhelming floods, just to abandon you at the very threshold of your greatest victory. The profound peace I am giving you right now is your ultimate compass. If my peace is resting upon a decision or an opportunity, I want you to move forward with absolute boldness. Even if you cannot see the entire staircase ahead of you, I am asking you to lean on me more heavily now than you ever did in your waiting season. The new level of elevation and influence I am bringing you into requires a brand new level of spiritual intimacy. I want my voice to be the very first thing you listen to in the morning, and the last gentle whisper that lulls you to sleep at night. Stop seeking validation and direction from people who do not have the spiritual capacity to understand the divine assignment on your life. They cannot read the blueprint because I only handed it to you. Trust the unique vision I placed deep inside your heart, even when absolutely no one else is clapping for you or supporting your journey. I am your ultimate provider, your steady guide, and your infinite source. Breathe out the heavy, suffocating anxiety of trying to figure it all out on your own, and breathe in my perfect, sustaining grace. You do not have to know every step, because I have already gone before you to make every crooked path straight. My child, as you step through the doors of this breakthrough, I want you to completely release the crippling exhaustion that has been weighing down your physical body and your soul. I know exactly how tired you are. I have seen the countless sleepless nights where you stared into the darkness, allowing anxious thoughts to drain every last ounce of your energy. You have constantly forced yourself to be the strong one, trying to take care of everyone else, desperately trying to keep everything from falling apart, while deep inside you were quietly crumbling. Your soul has endured a level of fatigue that no amount of physical sleep could ever cure. It is the deep exhaustion of hoping and then being disappointed, the exhaustion of waiting entirely too long in a thick, confusing silence, and the exhaustion of constantly fighting invisible spiritual battles that no one around you could even see or comprehend. But today, right in this very moment, I am declaring this to you. Your season of profound exhaustion and darkness is officially over. I am breathing a brand new life of fierce and holy vitality into your withered spirit. I am not only opening new doors of opportunity for you, but I am completely rebuilding your inner strength so that you can walk through those doors with your head held high in absolute confidence. Come to me, you who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you complete and perfect rest. The rest that I provide looks nothing like what this temporary world offers. It is not an escape from reality or a numbing of your emotions. It is a deep, divine, and sacred peace that will flow through every single cell of your body, soothing your overactive nerves and healing the bleeding wounds inside your mind at their very roots. I am lifting the heavy fog that has clouded your thinking for so long. From this exact moment forward, supernatural clarity, focus, and divine energy are returning to you. I have seen how the cruelty of the waiting season slowly eroded your genuine joy. You almost forgot what it feels like to smile completely, without a single care or worry in the world. Your smiles over this past season were often just a fragile mask hiding your emptiness, loneliness, and fear. The enemy used every tactic to steal your joy, trying to manipulate you into believing that true happiness was a luxury you could never touch again. But remember this: I am your great restorer. I am standing here to give you back double, even triple, of everything that was stolen from you. I will replace your agonizing mourning with a radiant song of joy, and trade your heavy spirit for a beautiful garment of praise. A deep, pure, and unshakable joy is pouring into your life right now. The next tears that fall from your eyes will never again be tears of pain, humiliation, or despair. They will be tears of overwhelming happiness, of profound gratitude when you witness with your own eyes the magnificent miracles I have carefully prepared just for you. Open your heart to receive it, my beloved child, because your darkest, coldest days are finally and forever behind you. My child, as I pour this new joy and supernatural strength into your spirit, I also want to speak directly to the profound loneliness you have endured. You have walked this difficult path for so long, feeling like a complete outsider in your own life. You have a heart that loves deeply, a spirit that gives generously, and yet you have constantly found yourself surrounded by people who misunderstood your intentions or completely took your kindness for granted. You have sat in crowded rooms and felt completely invisible. You have poured your precious finite energy into relationships and connections that left you feeling drained, unappreciated, and utterly alone. The enemy used this painful isolation to make you believe that you were inherently flawed, that your love was too intense, or that you were simply destined to walk through this harsh world without true, authentic companionship. But listen to my voice of truth right now. Your isolation was never a rejection. It was my divine protection. I had to separate you. I had to intentionally pull you away from environments, mindsets, and social circles that were simply too small for the massive, extraordinary calling I have placed on your life. If I had allowed you to stay comfortably surrounded by people who could not see your immense spiritual value, you would have continuously shrunk your destiny just to fit into their limited earthly perspective. I had to hide you in the quiet wilderness so that you could learn to recognize my voice without the loud, distracting noise of human opinions. But that painful season of lonely isolation is now coming to a beautiful end. Along with your financial and spiritual breakthrough, I am actively orchestrating divine alignments. I am sending people into your life who are specifically assigned to your destiny. You will no longer have to beg for a seat at the table, because I am preparing a table specifically for you, and I am seating you next to individuals who will fiercely celebrate you, not just tolerate you. These new divine connections will not drain your spirit. They will refresh your weary soul. When you are weak, they will help hold up your arms. When you begin to doubt yourself, they will boldly remind you of my eternal promises. I need you to stop mourning the people who walked away from you during your darkest season. Their sudden departure was necessary. It made physical and emotional room for the destiny helpers I am sending to you right now. I am giving you a spiritual tribe, a community of supporters who speak the exact same language as your heart. You will no longer have to over-explain yourself or constantly try to prove your worth to earn a sliver of affection. You will simply be loved, accepted, and cherished for exactly who I created you to be. The days of fighting your heavy battles entirely alone are over. Take a deep breath and open your heart to the beautiful, divine connections that are making their way to you, even in this very second. My child, as you stand on the threshold of this magnificent new season, I see a hidden hesitation still lingering in your heart. You are looking at the vast, open horizon of your future, and instead of feeling pure excitement, you are actively battling a quiet, paralyzing wave of fear. You are terrified of the unknown. For so long, your pain, your daily struggles, and your agonizing waiting season became deeply familiar to you. You learned exactly how to survive in the dark, and now that I am pulling you into the blinding, beautiful light of my favor, it feels overwhelming and intimidating. The enemy is desperately whispering a whole new set of what-ifs into your tired mind. What if I fail? What if I am not truly ready for this? What if this beautiful blessing is suddenly taken away from me just like everything else was in the past? Hear my voice of absolute authority right now. I command that spirit of fear to leave your mind immediately. I did not give you a spirit of fear, but of supernatural power, of unconditional love, and of a sound, peaceful mind. You have lived in a constant state of defense for years, and always bracing for the next bad thing to happen, always expecting disappointment. But I am telling you to take off your heavy armor of anxiety. You do not need to carry that exhausting trauma response into your promised land. You do not need to know the entire blueprint of your future, because you are holding the hand of the master architect who perfectly designed it. I am not sending you into this unfamiliar new chapter alone. I will be a lamp unto your feet and a brilliant light unto your path. You only need to take the single step that is right in front of you, and I promise you, I will safely illuminate the rest of your journey. Do not look at your own human limitations, your age, your past mistakes, or your perceived weaknesses, and try to disqualify yourself from the high places I am currently elevating you to. You might feel entirely unqualified for the new rooms, the new divine connections, and the massive opportunities I'm about to walk you into. But remember my eternal truth. I do not call the qualified. I fiercely qualify the called. The brutal trials you just survived were not meant to destroy you. They were your ultimate training ground. Every tear you shed, every agonizing setback, and every lonely heartbreak was actively building the immense spiritual stamina, the profound wisdom, and the deep, authentic empathy you now possess. You need every single bit of that hard-earned wisdom to properly sustain the massive blessing I am handing you. Take a deep, cleansing breath, lift your head high, and step forward with bold, unwavering confidence. You are no longer just surviving, my child. You are finally stepping into a season of extraordinary thriving. Trust that the new ground I am placing your feet upon is solid rock, and absolutely nothing in this world can ever shake the divine foundation I have meticulously built beneath you. My child, I want to reveal to you the profound, hidden purpose behind the intense fire you just walked through. For so long you have asked me with tears in your eyes, why did it have to hurt this much? Why did the trial have to last this long? You thought the enemy was successfully tearing your life apart, but you did not realize that I was actively using his very attacks to forge a brilliant, unbreakable weapon of light out of your spirit. The deep, agonizing pain you endured was never meaningless. It was not a random tragedy. It was the painful but necessary birth pangs of your ultimate divine calling. You have been so intensely focused on just surviving, just trying to make it through the day, just trying to breathe through the next wave of anxiety, that you have not yet realized the massive spiritual authority you have gained in the process. I am about to do something completely unprecedented in your life. I am turning your deepest, darkest pain into your greatest, most powerful platform. The very areas where you experience the most devastating heartbreak, the most profound loss, and the most crushing rejection will become the exact areas where you bring the most miraculous healing to others. The deep empathy you developed while crying silently on your bedroom floor, wondering if anyone cared, is about to become an absolute lifeline for someone else who is currently drowning in that exact same darkness. I did not just save you for your own sake. I saved you so you could become a beacon of unwavering hope for others who are currently walking the harsh path you just conquered. People are going to look at your life in this new season and see a walking, breathing miracle. They will know your history. They will know the brutal storms that should have completely destroyed you. And they will be utterly amazed at the grace, the strength, and the supernatural joy that now radiates from your spirit. When they ask you how you survived the impossible, your life will become a living, breathing testimony of my unfailing love and miraculous provision. I need you to stop being ashamed of your past. Do not try to hide your emotional scars from the world. Those scars are not ugly marks of weakness or failure. They are the undeniable, glorious proof of my miraculous healing power. I am giving you a voice of authority that will instantly cut through the lies of the enemy and bring freedom to the captives. Step out of the shadows and take your rightful place, my beloved, because the world desperately needs the pure light that I have placed inside of you. My child, as I elevate you into this miraculous new season, I am not only breaking the chains that have held you captive, I am actively shattering the generational curses that have silently plagued your family bloodline for decades. I have seen the heavy, invisible patterns of struggle, lack, and emotional brokenness that you inherited. You have watched your loved ones fight the exact same relentless battles of poverty, sickness, and chronic worry. I know the deep, unspoken terror you carry in your heart, the fear that you might pass these agonizing struggles down to your own children, or the fear that you will eventually become a heavy financial or physical burden to them in your later years. You have wept in the quiet hours of the night, pleading with me to protect your family, to secure their future, and to ensure they never have to experience the intense pain and scarcity that you had to endure. Hear my voice with absolute clarity right now. The brutal cycle of generational suffering officially stops with you. You are my chosen cycle breaker. Because of your unwavering faith, your quiet endurance, and your refusal to turn your back on me, even when you were drowning in despair, I am radically redirecting the entire trajectory of your family's future. The dark, suffocating clouds of continuous financial struggle, mounting debt, and anxious survival are being permanently blown away by the fierce wind of my spirit. I am not just going to provide you with barely enough to survive the week. I am opening the massive floodgates of heaven to pour out an overflowing, supernatural provision that will completely eradicate your lack. I want you to live in absolute abundance so that you can become a powerful, generous blessing to everyone around you. You will never be a burden, my child. Instead, you will be the solid rock, the peaceful anchor, and the living, breathing proof of my miraculous grace to your entire family. Furthermore, I am actively moving to heal the deep, fractured relationships within your home. The bitter arguments, the painful years of cold silence, and the heartbreaking estrangements that the enemy used to divide your family are being washed away by a sudden, undeniable wave of my divine reconciliation. I am softening hardened hearts and bridging the massive gaps that human efforts and apologies could never fix. You are about to witness miraculous, unexplainable transformations in the people you love the most, even the ones you had secretly given up hope on. Your tearful prayers for them were never lost or ignored. I gathered every single one of them, and I am answering them in this very season. As you boldly step into this massive breakthrough, your entire household is stepping into the light with you. A brand new, beautiful legacy of divine peace, immense prosperity, and unshakable faith is beginning in your bloodline today. Stand tall, my beloved, because the heavy generational burdens have finally been lifted from your weary shoulders, and a glorious new history is being written for you. My child, I want to speak to the deep, silent anxiety you have been carrying about time. The enemy has relentlessly whispered to you that it is simply too late. He constantly points to your age, to the years that have quickly slipped by, to the golden opportunities you thought you missed, and he tries to convince you that your absolute best days are permanently behind you. You have looked in the mirror and felt a quiet, heavy grief for the time you spent merely surviving instead of truly living. You have deeply mourned the years that were stolen by unexpected sickness, by toxic relationships, by past mistakes, or by heavy, painful circumstances that were completely out of your control. But I need you to hear the voice of your Creator right now. I am the master of time. I am not bound by the harsh limitations of the earthly clock, and my divine timeline for your life is absolutely perfect. What this temporary world calls too late, I call perfect positioning. I am about to step into your reality and miraculously restore the years that the locusts have eaten. The time that you thought was completely wasted, the years you thought were entirely lost, were actually being multiplied and compounded in the spiritual realm. I am going to accelerate my blessings in your life so intensely that you will experience and accomplish more in the next few years than you did in the previous decades. The heavy, suffocating burden of feeling like you are constantly running out of time or that you have fallen too far behind is breaking off of your mind right now in the name of Jesus. I am breathing a brand new youthfulness, a fresh vigor, and a completely revitalized spirit into your body. The chronic physical tiredness that has settled deep into your bones is being washed away by a supernatural river of living water. You will run and not grow weary. You will walk and not faint. Do not dare to measure your success, your worth, or your glorious destiny by the timelines of the people around you. They are walking a completely different path with a completely different assignment. Your journey took longer because your destination is so much higher. The deep foundation required to support a massive skyscraper takes significantly more time, effort, and digging to build than the shallow foundation of a temporary tent. I was building a magnificent, unshakable skyscraper within your spirit, my beloved. So take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, and release the agonizing pressure of always trying to catch up. You are exactly where you need to be. Every painful delay, every confusing detour, and every permanently closed door was a highly strategic move by my hand to perfectly position you for this exact, triumphant moment. The season of looking back with deep regret and sorrow is permanently over. You are boldly stepping into a season where every single day will be a glorious, living testimony of my redeeming power. Trust me when I tell you, the most beautiful, breathtaking chapters of your story have not even been written yet. My child, as you stand on the very edge of this glorious manifestation, there is a powerful spiritual weapon I need you to completely activate right now. Your praise. I know it sounds counterintuitive to the human mind to celebrate before you actually hold the physical blessing in your hands. You are accustomed to waiting for the hard evidence before you give the thanks. But I am calling you to a much higher, supernatural dimension of faith. The profound shift I have been speaking about has already happened in the spiritual realm. The massive doors have already been unlocked. The divine connections have already been dispatched. The heavy generational chains have already been shattered. The physical world is simply taking its final moments to catch up to the spiritual reality I have already permanently established for you. Your praise right now, in this delicate, transitional moment, is the ultimate bridge that pulls the miracle from heaven straight down to earth. I am not asking you to thank me for the brutal pain or the agonizing heartbreak you had to endure. I am asking you to praise me because that pain is permanently defeated. I want you to offer a sacrifice of praise, even if your voice is trembling and your hands are shaking. When you choose to worship me in the middle of the unknown, you send a massive, undeniable shockwave of absolute terror through the kingdom of darkness. The enemy fully expects you to complain right now. He expects you to give in to your lingering exhaustion, to stare at the leftover debris of the storm, and to doubt that the sun will ever truly shine for you again. He wants you staring at the wind and the waves, so that you will sink just inches away from the shore. But I need you to lock your eyes directly onto mine. I am placing a fresh, incredibly powerful anointing upon your life for this exact assignment. You are no longer the same broken, timid person who slowly walked into that wilderness season. You are emerging as a fierce, unshakable warrior of the light. When you walk into rooms from this day forward, the atmosphere will literally shift because the weight of my divine presence is resting so heavily upon you. The words you speak will suddenly carry a new, undeniable authority that commands respect and brings instant peace to chaotic situations. People who are secretly drowning in their own silent pain will be inexplicably drawn to you, desperately seeking the radiant light that was perfectly refined in your darkest fires. Do not underestimate the magnitude of what I have placed deep inside of your spirit. Lift up your head, open your mouth, and begin to thank me with a loud voice for the magnificent victory that is already completely yours. My child, as we bring this divine encounter to a close, I want you to take one final deep breath. Inhale my perfect peace and exhale every last trace of doubt that is trying to linger in the corners of your mind. You have heard my voice today, not by accident, but by a holy, deliberate appointment. I have spoken directly into the deepest, most hidden parts of your soul, because I wanted you to know, without a single shadow of a doubt, that you are profoundly loved, fiercely protected, and entirely unforgettable to me. The long, harsh winter of your soul has finally passed. The heavy rain that battered your spirit has stopped, and the beautiful, radiant spring of your breakthrough is blooming all around you right now. I have dispatched my heavenly angels to guard your home, to protect your mind, and to safely guide every single step you take from this exact moment forward. Tonight, when you lay your head upon your pillow, I do not want you to wrestle with your anxious thoughts anymore. I do not want you to replay your past mistakes or worry about the complicated logistics of tomorrow. I want you to close your eyes and rest in the absolute certainty that the Creator of the universe is actively fighting for you. The battles that kept you awake are already won. The mountains that stood in your way have already been leveled. You do not have to carry the heavy armor of emotional survival anymore. You can finally lay it down at my feet. I am your safe refuge, your ultimate provider, and your greatest defender. As you sleep, I will minister to your weary spirit, downloading fresh vision, supernatural clarity, and a profound, unshakable joy into your heart. You will wake up tomorrow morning feeling lighter, stronger, and more truly alive than you have felt in years. I need you to physically seal this prophetic word over your life right now. Do not just let this be another message you listen to and quickly forget. I want you to activate your faith. If your spirit bears witness to these words, if you feel the heavy chains breaking off your mind, and if you are fully ready to step into your magnificent new season of abundance, I want you to declare it boldly. Type down below, "My waiting is over, and I receive my breakthrough today." Share this message with someone you love who is also fighting a silent battle and desperately needs to hear my comforting voice. By doing this, you are not just helping them, you are planting a powerful seed of faith in your own life. Go forward now in my endless grace, my beautiful child. Walk with your head held high. The magnificent victory is already yours, and I will be right beside you every step of the way. I love you with an everlasting love.